Thank you. Would you bow with me in prayer, please? Our God and Heavenly Father, thank you for your generosity towards GCU. You've given us much to be thankful for, and we know you've worked through many people to bring about what is being done here. The friends who have come alongside us have been a wonderful blessing to our progress, and today we honor one of those special friends. We pray that you would be pleased with this time of dedication and celebration. We ask for your mercy and peace as we follow you today. It's because of your grace in Christ we ask for these blessings. Amen and amen. I'd like to introduce to you now Brian Mueller, President of GCU.
Welcome. It's great to see everybody here. We really appreciate your attendance. We got 11,000 students on our campus this year, and 5,500 of them are new, and they're some of the best students from California and Arizona that existed in high schools. And a lot of them are here today, and they're part of the College of Business. So could you give our students a round of applause, please? We have some very special people here, and I want to just recognize them quickly. Mr. Colangelo's family is here. Kathy Holcomb, who's his oldest daughter, Mandy and Richard Adams, daughter and son-in-law, Kristen Brubaker, daughter, and then Rosemary Howell, sister, and then also a grandson, Jace. Would you all stand up, please? We also have some public figures who have meant a lot to Mr. Colangelo over the years that are here, and we really appreciate their attendance. So the voice of the Phoenix Suns for all those years, Al McCoy, is here. A man is very important to us because not only did he work for Mr. Colangelo and the Suns for 37 years, but he worked for us for over 5 years and did a fantastic job in the construction area. Bob Machin is here. Bob, would you stand up, please? We're developing a very special relationship with some very bright, important people in the city of Phoenix. And one of the most important ones is the superintendent of the Phoenix Union School District, who has been very committed to forming a partnership with us so that together we can lift the performance of so many students in the Phoenix Union School Districts. It's one of the only inner city school districts that's growing, and he's responsible for that. Dr. Kent Scribner is here. We have a number of councilmen here, very important to us. Councilman Jim Waring, and then our own councilman, Daniel Valenzuela. Will you guys stand up, please? Very honored to have somebody who's become a very strong partner of ours. The mayor of Phoenix, Mayor Stanton. Would you stand up, please? I can't imagine anybody more busy right now with what's going on in the world, and for him to be here is very important to us, and we're honored by that. Senator Flake, will you stand up, please? Then some people from the basketball world I want to quickly acknowledge. One of the all-time great college basketball coaches who's meant so much to the game. He now is working for Nike. He's become very much a friend of Grand Canyon. Coach George Raveling, would you stand up, please? President of the Basketball Hall of Fame, John DeLiva. The NCAA Vice President of Basketball Championships, Dan Gavitt, is here. A person that's become very important to the Valley in terms of basketball, both with the Phoenix Suns, and hopefully we're trying to get her here in some role, but has meant so much to women's basketball. She's a Hall of Fame member of the '93 class of Hall of Fame. Ann Myers-Drysdale is here. We also have an organization that has meant so much to the world of basketball all over the world. It's the chairman of the Harlem Globetrotters, Manny Jackson. And finally, two people very important to us. We depend so much on our board here at Grand Canyon, and they've done such a great job for us. Sarah Dial and Jim Rice are both here. Would you stand, please? Thank you. This is really a big day for us. It's been in the works it's an interesting journey that we've been on here. Bob Machin, in fact, came to us about 3.5 years ago and said, I think Mr. Colangelo might be interested. He might consider joining your board. And I said, really? And he said yes. And so we made a contact, and he came and joined our board. And then after about 6 months of being a board member, it was obvious that he could do so much more for us. And so we started to talk about a college of business, sports business. And that college of sports business was his vision. It continues to be his vision, and it's just exploding. In a couple short years, we now have over 700 students in that college of sports business, and it's because of Mr. Colangelo and the vision that he's setting for that. And then things continued to progress, and one of the things that was so impressive about the relationship was that obviously he has a very, very powerful name, a very well-known name, and a very strong brand, if you will, but he was showing up on campus 2 and 3 times a week. And he was meeting with our students, and he was bringing in guest lecturers, and he was providing mentoring for our students in our business program, in our basketball program. And so there was a connection that developed between Mr. Colangelo and our students. And that's when the momentum started around, we just need to name the whole College of Business in his name. And certainly he brings so many elements to it, but the element that was most important to us was the connection that he was building to our students. We think at Grand Canyon, and we have 11,000 tremendous students on our campus this year, and it's going to grow to 25,000 students in the next 4 to 5 years. And the average incoming GPA of these students are greater than 3.5, and 50% are studying in the natural sciences. And we're opening up a computer science and information technology program this year. We're opening up 3 engineering programs this year. So we're going to be attracting the very brightest minds, high school graduates in the state of Arizona and in the greater southwest of Grand Canyon. And there should be something distinctive and special about who our students are and who they become as they're here and who they are as graduates. There needs to be something that absolutely differentiates what happens at a Christian university. I think we need today powerful role models for this generation of students more than we ever have. I think students coming to a traditional campus and spending 4 years and becoming part of this community, and then being able to look to very, very powerful role models is as inspirational and important thing as we can do. Mr. Colangelo represents 3 things that are very important to us. One is entrepreneurship. We're going to need in our country in the next 20 years a generation of entrepreneurs because there aren't going to be as many jobs in the Fortune 1000 companies as there has been in the past. And we have to create a new generation of Christian entrepreneurs especially. And his life represents the very essence of that with the Phoenix Suns and the Arizona Diamondbacks, and what he did with USA Basketball, what he's done in his real estate ventures. And so that's important, and he represents that. The second thing, I use the word excellence. He uses the word gold standard. And he's got a gold medal here that he's going to use as an object lesson around that. But everything that he's done, he insists is done with a level of excellence that represents a gold standard, and he's bringing that to us. He's bringing it to the university. He's bringing it to the School of Business. And that's really important to us. We have our own path that we're developing in that direction, but his presence and his ability to add to that means a lot to us. So that's 2. But here's the most important thing. I don't need to tell you the story. You know the story of the Phoenix Suns and the Arizona Diamondbacks and USA Basketball and everything that he's meant to the community in terms of entrepreneurism and excellence. But the most important thing for us at Grand Canyon is that he's led a life with real purpose to it. If you walk around our campus, you'll see that word everywhere. What we want to instill in our students as they come here is it's important to become very skilled and knowledgeable in that area that will represent your career. But what's more important than that is that your life represent something and mean something that's extraordinary. We're a Christian university. We're a faith-based community. Mr. Colangelo has a very strong faith. He believes in a God that's created the world, that's redeemed the world, and is eventually going to restore the world, and that's very important to us, and he stayed committed to that his entire life. Second thing that's important is that he has committed to what I think is the basic institution of society that needs to be rebuilt, and that is family. His wife, Joan, wanted to be here today. She's recouping from surgery. And if she wasn't, she would be here. But he's been married to the same person for 54 years. They have, yes. They have a tremendous family. He's very proud of his sons and his daughters. He's very proud of his grandchildren. But his commitment to that family is really important. And the third thing is, it's obvious that he shares our commitment to who we in the Christian worldview refer to as our neighbor, which is really anybody, but anybody that needs help, and especially people that need help that are less fortunate. We are making a major commitment to this neighborhood. We want to restore it to be a middle-class neighborhood. We want to give the people in this neighborhood opportunity, educationally and from a job perspective, and to rebuild their lives. His life represents a life of service and giving, and especially giving to those people that are less fortunate. So the congruity between Mr. Colangelo and his life and what we're trying to do here just came together. We're very honored to have him be willing to do this, and for you being here today. And with that, I would like to turn it over to one of our students who is a very special student in the School of Business, whose life has been changed by Jerry. His name is Austin Walker.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Austin Walker, and I'm a senior here at Grand Canyon University. There we go. Can you hear me? All right. And I'm studying sports business, like Mr. Mueller said. In the fall of 2011, it was announced that the sports business program would become the Colangelo School of Sports Business, and to say that I was ecstatic was an understatement. But at the time, looking back 3 years later, I really had no idea of the impact that it would have on my life. Yes, his name would be on all of our resumes. That was clear. However, it has been so much more than that. He has been among the students. He's been among us, actively listening, speaking, encouraging us as we go into our careers. He truly takes a hands-on approach, and for that, I'm so grateful. If you just spend a few moments with him, it's very clear that he truly cares about us students. Now, I've grown up in the Valley all my life, and ever since I was a little boy, I've been a diehard Suns fan and a diehard Diamondbacks fan, and so I've known of Mr. Colangelo as the man who has brought my favorite sports teams to life. And never would I have thought that I would be standing up here today in front of you guys with the opportunity to personally thank him for the impact that he has made on my life. He's been an incredible role model for me as I and my fellow classmates as we venture into the sports industry. Just take one look at his resume and you'll find words such as chairman, founder, investor, leader, executive of the year 4 times, and many other accolades. But honestly, the impact that he's made on my life personally goes far beyond any of those tangible accomplishments. He's a man of character and a man of integrity. And for those of you who have kept up with the sports world recently, you know as well as I do that we're in desperate need of more men just like him. He's always stood up for the integrity of the game, whatever game that looks like, and he has brought that philosophy into the classroom as well. I speak on behalf of all the business students when I say that we are thrilled about this move today. To have a name like Mr. Colangelo attached to our College of Business is incredible, but to have a man like Mr. Colangelo amongst us students, now that's life-changing. 1 Timothy 4:12 says, "Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, in love, in faith, and in purity." Mr. Colangelo, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you so much for investing in my life and my fellow classmates' lives, for being a role model, and for upholding the highest level of integrity as you walk this journey with us. Thank you, and God bless.
Man, it's become very important to us is our local councilman, Daniel Valenzuela.
Another round of applause for this young man, Austin. I'm honored to be the council member for District 5 for Central and West Phoenix, and which obviously covers Grand Canyon University. I'm honored to be working with GCU, an organization that has truly made this district, this city, this valley, this state a better place. And it's only fitting that Mr. Colangelo, that we're here today to honor a person who, and you've heard Austin say this, who clearly makes us all better and makes us as a state a better place. I'm fortunate to be working with a friend and a colleague, Mayor Greg Stanton, who is a true champion for education and who also sees the value that GCU brings to our city. Please welcome Mayor Greg Stanton.
All right, thank you very much, Councilman Valenzuela. President Mueller, you know there is no better champion in local government for this university and what you're trying to accomplish, not only for your students, but the community, than Danny Valenzuela. Let's give another round of applause. He truly is awesome. And I want to say a few words about someone who has had arguably the greatest impact on our city's development. That's the gentleman you're naming the School of Business after, Mr. Colangelo. But first, let me say something, Brian, to you and your students as mayor of this city. This university is making a major positive impact on our community. Arguably, our #1 challenge as a community for our future is the need to have greater college attainment among our workforce. We need more people with college degrees in the sciences and business, in education and nursing, and that's exactly what this university is doing, is helping us tremendously. So your development, what I see, all the cranes on this campus, I love to see those cranes, are not only helping these students and their futures, but make no mistake, we're going to be a successful city, and it's directly related to what's going on in this campus. And I love the fact that this student body, this university, in part because of its Christian values, is so committed to the neighborhoods around here. I grew up just a couple miles down the road. This is an area where there's been some challenges, an area of opportunity. And this university, instead of putting up walls around the neighborhood, has decided to embrace the neighborhood. And you are making a huge difference in the lives of families and children, the next generation, and I'm so proud of the students for having embraced that core mission of this university. And we need more of our high school students thinking about college, creating a culture of college attendance. Ken Scribner was announced earlier. It's what he's trying to do to create that culture within the Phoenix Union High School district. And your embrace of Alhambra High School, the nearby high school, to help create that college-going culture there is making a huge impact on the lives of many of them will be first-generation college-going students. This university is making a big, big difference in the city of Phoenix. And I'm just so proud of you and your leadership team, what you've done for this university. I just want to say thank you, and I want to give a big round of applause to Brian and his leadership team for all that you are doing to advance. Now, as mayor, I get to do a lot of fun stuff. Help to host the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl activities. We're hosting college football championships next year. We hope to have the opportunity to be the host community of Final Four and Final Four basketball fun and activity, tremendous visitor and convention opportunities. And so we're doing it, a lot of exciting things. But as mayor and Councilman Valenzuela acknowledged, we stand on the shoulder of giants. A lot has been said and will be said about what Jerry Colangelo has meant to professional sports here locally and nationally and internationally, and the tremendous amount of success that he's had. But it also bears worth saying that Mr. Colangelo has had a huge impact on the city of Phoenix, because while he was leading our professional sports teams, incredibly successful professional sports teams, he was also a leader among leaders in terms of pushing our downtown forward. He was the canary in the mine shaft, if you will, about reminding us how important it was to have more people living in our downtown, how important it was to have a growing and effective public transportation system, how we need to invest in the infrastructure like first-class, world-class convention centers, that City of Phoenix had an obligation to lead, that downtown Phoenix was important to the entire city, the entire valley, the entire state of Arizona, arguably the entire southwestern portion of the United States. We didn't always listen to Mr. Colangelo. We should have earlier. We are making the right choices, a lot of successes that we've had. And Mr. Colangelo, Jerry, I just want to say thank you for your leadership. Our city is still have a long way to go. We still have a lot of work to do. We have to roll up our sleeves. But the message that you told me and other leaders back in the day has really advanced this city. And I would politely argue that no one has made a bigger impact on the success of the city overall than Jerry Colangelo. So let's give a big round of applause for that as well. One additional point, Jerry is not going to not only impart his business knowledge on these students, but his ethics and values. And he has formed, just a few years ago, and has been hugely successful, an Integrity Institute. Business leaders across the valley and the state come to hear from Jerry and other leaders about how they can make their organizations more full of integrity, how they can look in the mirror and try to be better themselves. And so you're not going to find someone who acts with more integrity, not just success, but also success the right way with integrity, and in part they're combined. I know he's going to teach those lessons to the students, that acting with integrity personally and the success of your organization is one of the same. But I want to thank you also, Jerry, for being such a leader and doing it the right way. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to this incredibly important university. You picked the right guy to name your school after, I'll tell you that. It is my great honor now to introduce the next speaker. Speaking of someone who acts with integrity, he does a great job representing the state of Arizona in Washington, D.C. Occasionally, our elected officials make national news for the wrong reasons. Never this guy. He is always acts with integrity. I really appreciate when he's acted in a bipartisan way on some very, very difficult issues, which I know you have sometimes received a few angry emails and letters about, but Senator Flake, what you've done to work across the aisle on immigration reform, I think is something that we can all, as Arizonas, rally on and be very, very proud of. I know he wanted to say a few words on this very important occasion. Our friend, our Senator, Jeff Flake.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here. It's great to be in the fall of an even numbered year and not have to run for office. I've come to understand the Founding Fathers' best achievement was a 6-year term for the Senate. And so, but I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Brian and the whole team here, the faculty and the students at this great university, thank you for what you're doing for the community, for the city, for the state in general. It's just wonderful. Jerry's contribution to the world of sports has been well documented and well said, and his achievements in development and everything else I need not recite again. Let me just say a couple of things about what Jerry Colangelo has meant to the state of Arizona. In 1878, my great-great-grandfather was in Utah, and he was sent by Brigham Young to Arizona to colonize. He came down here and tromped around for about 6 months, went back to Utah and said, "There's nothing worth colonizing down there." And Brigham Young said, "Why don't you sell all you have and go and look a little longer?" And so he did, and he ultimately founded the town of Snowflake, where I grew up. But fast forward just about 100 years, Jerry Colangelo and his wife arrived here in 1968 with, said, $200 in his pocket. And I'm sure at that time, when the entire population of the state of Arizona was about 1.6 million, which is the population of the city of Phoenix today. I'm sure Jerry Colangelo thought, there's not much worth settling here. Probably had about the same reaction. But he went to work. And over the next couple of decades, I would venture to say that no one person in Arizona has done more to make this state a place where people want to settle. And a lot of politicians will claim credit for it, but that's not where it heads. It's with people like Jerry Colangelo and what he has done. Arizona now has 6.5 million people, and a lot is due to the fact that people want to come here. The quality of life is such that they want to be here, and Jerry has had a great deal to do with that. As has been said, Jerry is also a man of deep faith, and faith in the ability of man to help his fellow man. Jerry said at one point, "God has a plan for my life. You know, the way I've tried to live my life is to have this platform. It was given to me by the Lord. He's blessed me with a lot of things, and someday I'm going to be held accountable with what I did with those things." If you look at Jerry's life, he's lived to that. And I can't think of a more fitting match than to have Jerry and his name here on the business school at Grand Canyon University, given that the school's role in nurturing entrepreneurs to become business leaders who follow the values of Christ. Grand Canyon University and its students have found a perfect role model in Jerry Colangelo. There's a quote that's often attributed to Churchill that I think sums up both Jerry's work and the work that's done here at GCU. You make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give. I'm pleased to be here to honor Jerry Colangelo and the school for this achievement today. Thank you.
In 1983, Mel Schultz, along with David Eaton and Jerry Colangelo, formed JDM Properties, Inc., a full-service real estate firm engaged in the development and management of quality real estate properties in Arizona and Colorado. The group has owned and developed 16 business parks in Arizona and is a partner in developing the 36,800-acre Douglas Ranch Trillium community, which is the largest master plan community in the greater Phoenix area. Schultz is also a managing partner of the 5,000-seat Comerica Theater and was a general partner in the Phoenix Suns basketball team until its sale in 2004. Additionally, Schultz was one of the original general partners for the 2001 World Championship Arizona Diamondbacks baseball team. Please welcome Mel Schultz.
Well, I believe in empirical evidence, and I submit to you a paper that I wrote, which I believe could be a nice study paper for some of the students. I submit this to you with humility, with love, and with a hope and expectation that as you consider what I've entitled A View of Jerry Colangelo from the Next Office, you will aspire to do the things that you hear today, to emulate, and at the end of the day, to become all that God made you to be. I submit to you, in honor of the naming of the Colangelo College of Business, A View of Jerry Colangelo from the Next Office. In my 35 years as a business partner with Jerry Colangelo, I have read and heard many things that are true about Jerry, such as he is a man of integrity, loyalty, dedicated to faith, family, and community. Some have also observed that his leadership built a downtown, vaulted a city bringing the Phoenix Suns and the Arizona Diamondbacks to the Valley, including building a model for arenas, ballparks, and the state's first Major League sports championship. These are all historical facts that would make anyone's life impressive and worthy of comment. In Jerry's humility, he doesn't mention he is a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame, or that the Jerry Colangelo Court of Dreams that the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame named after him, or Athletes in Action, or the Italian American Sports Hall of Fame, just to mention a few. Jerry also may be the most prolific charitable fundraiser and giver in terms of local and national causes. We know this in Arizona. However, Jerry's name is known and respected nationally as well as internationally. His leadership of the United States Olympic basketball teams with gold medal repeats is only a small part of who Jerry is and what he does. Team USA has been resurrected under Jerry's apt leadership, and as we have recently observed in the World Championship victory in Spain, noting it was the 200th year celebration of the writing of our national anthem, the hope of American patriotism and pride was reignited as the gold medals were again placed on Team USA on that day. So being all that has been said and all that history records, I can only add observations from behind the scenes, in the meetings with closed doors and no reporters. So what has not been said? Jerry has an amazing sense of humor and humility that truly downplays all his incredible contributions and accomplishments. He's fun-loving, and people from all walks of life feel at ease with him. As a visionary, he sees the view as easily from 30,000-foot altitudes, as well as noticing the details for the color of the shades in a new building to the trash he picked up off the arena floor. He could have been an architect, a religious or a moral leader, a statesman, an athlete, or a coach, but I guess he's already all of that. He chose not to run for office, though he is the most recognized, respected, and influential person in the state of Arizona. But even this doesn't adequately describe Jerry, whose friends were his boyhood school friends, the aspiring Italian restaurant owner needing a start, or the small faith-based ministry needing a youth center. His name is on buildings others have named after him, while multiplied thousands have been inspired and encouraged by his words, books, and actions. Yet still, I have not captured all that can be said about Jerry. Even the very few who have tried to knock him down have needed his support afterwards, and Jerry has stepped up to help them on their way, and usually they didn't even know he did it. Today's honor is another testimony to Jerry's faithful and obedient stewardship of his God-given life platform. The model for students here at the Colangelo College of Business at Grand Canyon University and beyond truly need to study Jerry's life. Heed his instruction, note his experience, seize the opportunities to listen to his amazing real-life stories. You will be blessed and inspired. You see, it's hard to describe a man who permits and invites God to use him without fear or conditions. For that man's life will be so deep and so wide and so influential that history will never get it just right. What I can see is the heart and passion of a young boy infused with the wisdom of an obedient servant who realizes that life is too short to worry and eternity is too long to ignore. Emulate that, and you will succeed in all you dream to be and endeavor to accomplish. Jerry and the students at the Colangelo College of Business at GCU are to be congratulated and thanked today. For those who have been honored are really you and me. And so, with great honor and humility, it's my pleasure, distinct pleasure, to introduce to you my friend, my business partner, Jerry Colangelo.
Thank you very much. First of all, it's so humbling to follow all of that. You know, Mel is a guy who can write pretty well, as you can see. And I've witnessed that over the years, but very touching, all of the comments that were made by all the people. Austin, I'm very proud of you. You led it off with some great stuff, and I appreciate that. But each and every one of you, thank you. Thank you all for being here. This is a big day for all of us. My family, sitting in the front row. Brian Mueller mentioned my wife is not here. Not only did she have her knee replaced recently, and she's early into recovery, but we had a granddaughter married a week ago Saturday, and that was a big deal. We had 250 people in a backyard, and she got through that pretty good, but suffering from it now. Anyway, it's I always reflect on the old days for some reason. So I remember in 1968, you know, Senator Flake referred to, I came here with 200. You cut me short, it was 300. I had $300 in my pocket. And I say 9 suitcases, and at that time, 3 kids. And we just started a whole new life. We left Chicago after I was part of the Chicago Bulls startup, and, you know, young, wide-eyed, anxious for the future to take place, and it couldn't have been any better. And early on, just a few days after I was here, the media asked me some questions, and I said some things that have kind of stayed with me my entire lifetime, which was, this community owes us nothing. It's up to us to earn the respect and the support of the community by how we conduct ourselves as business people, as athletes, as people, as, you know, not only on the floor, but off the floor, and giving back to the community. Giving back to the community. And that's exactly what I tried to do from day one. And another thing that was pretty interesting at that time, there was a little bit of the Wild West that still existed back in the late 60s. In fact, I remember coming to this property when Grand Canyon was a sleepy little old school with about 1,000 students, a few Quonset huts, a couple of buildings. Seriously, the gym was a Quonset hut, that's what I would call it. And who would have thunk that here we are? Look at what's happening here on this property. It's an amazing story. And you must also know that from the time I was a kid, I was always a dreamer. There was an old-timer in our neighborhood, Mike Kalach, who was an immigrant, Italian immigrant. That's the neighborhood I grew up in. And one night he pointed to a star in the sky, and he said, "Jerry, do you see that star?" And I said, "Which one, Mike?" And finally I centered in on it. He said, "Remember, it's better to be on that star for one day than never get there at all." And I have to tell you, that has never left me. I always thought about that. And I've tried to encourage people to think that way. You know, when people say you can't, you need to show them how you will and get it done and reach for that star. Don't ever call yourself short. You can accomplish amazing things if you have some basic foundational things working for you. And so this community really opened its arms. And I was asked to do a lot of things in terms of leadership roles. I always accepted. I wanted to make our community a major league market. And of course, the Phoenix Suns were the first professional sports team. And I was proud when we got to the finals just 5 or 6 years later. And all the things that happened during 4 decades, and then bringing baseball to town, and then the Cardinals came and saw that it was an opportunity, and then being part of bringing hockey to the Valley. And we became one of only 11 cities with 4 major league teams. That was a proud moment for the community. You know, people often say, what do you want on your tombstone? I hate that question, by the way. And mine is pretty simple. He cared, because that says a lot. He cared about everything and everyone, about making your community a better place in which to live. How do you do that? By investing in the community, investing in people, and doing the right thing all the time. It's consistency in doing the right thing all the time. The word integrity is a word that is being used much more today than in the past, and boy, do we need it, because there's a lack of integrity in the world today, in the business world, in the political world, in every walk of life. It's a microcosm of what's needed in our world today. So as I think about my life and all the things that have happened and all the success, you know, you're always humbled by it. You never, you know, come to a point where you say, yeah, I earned that. I don't think I've earned anything. Everything has been a blessing. Because I could tell you deep down inside, there's a part of me that says, why me? Why did all these things happen to me? And it's really what was said a few minutes ago. I believe God has a plan for everyone's life. He has a plan for my life, and I'm just playing it out. I'm just going through the motions. This is His plan. It's His platform that He gave me. And so, you know, make the most of your life, make the most of opportunities and blessings and resources, and make a difference. Make a difference. Where I am today in my life is that most of my life is behind me, and so who knows how much is in front of me. But with the time that's left, what can I do to continue making a difference? And I saw Grand Canyon through the eyes of Brian Mueller when he came to me about his vision, his plan, his dream, and being the dreamer that I've always been. I bought into that pretty quickly as it relates to what could happen here on this campus. And so it's been fun. He's actually giving me a new jolt of enthusiasm and youth. I'm telling myself that anyway, Brian. You know, being involved with the basketball program, I love that. You know, having Dan Marley, one of my draftees with the Phoenix Suns, coaching the team, the right guy, the future for Grand Canyon and Division I basketball, I'm really excited about. And we've got a lot of great teams, programs on our schedule coming up, like this year Kentucky, Louisville for 3 years in a row, Duke down the road. We're going to play them all, take them on, and we're going to beat them eventually. We're going to do that. But this opportunity here with the Colangelo College of Business, I never would have dreamed that was something in my future a few years ago. I was very happy to be involved with the sports business curriculum, because that's my sweet spot. You know, it's interesting, whenever topics are being discussed and they talk about anything, like whether it's marketing or arena construction, any phase of it, I was there at the beginning. I've been around long enough that, you know, I helped start a lot of those things, you know, 40 years ago, 45 years ago. So I've really enjoyed that, the interacting with the students, trying to exchange, give them the knowledge that, that I have that can help them above and beyond the books themselves. It's practical experience. It's getting them out in the workplace. But what we can accomplish with the School of Business in its entirety is to make a major, major difference. Brian referred to the word I like to use, which is gold standards. He uses excellence. It's one and the same. And when we are together with USA Basketball, every day our players are hearing things about our commitment, what we're there for. We represent the United States of America. We're proud to be Americans. And we're out there. We're together. We're in that foxhole and trench together. And so shooting for that gold can only happen if you have gold standards. And what I see for the College of Business is we're going to have gold standards. We're going to be seeking excellence in everything we do. And the excitement is we're just getting off the ground. We're just launching. So as this program continues to grow, all of the schools within the School of Business are going to have those kind of standards, and that's gold standards. Now, many of you haven't seen a gold medal up front, up close. So I came back from Spain with a gold medal a week ago Sunday, and this is the gold medal right here. And that, my grandson just had to leave because he has a job, and I like that. See, he's an entrepreneur. He just had to walk out. He was concerned about that. I said, just walk out when it's time. Don't worry about it. This medal means much more than, oh, they won a basketball champion. They won a World Cup. That's what's wonderful. No, it's about integrity. It's about teamwork. It's about everything that's good about sports. It's about representation of your country and your community and your team being all together. That's what it means to me. So another blessing. I had the basketball team here. I went to see them at practice this morning, and I had them all handle this. I mean, that's pretty neat. I mean, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to handle a gold medal when I was a guy playing basketball 100 years ago. So I just want to thank everyone who came here today. Many of you represent such a big part of my life over the years. All of the organizations that I'm affiliated with presently, it means a great deal to me to have you all here, and thank the student body for being here, the faculty. I'm excited about the future of the school, Grand Canyon University, and what lies ahead for all of us, and the College of Business. I'm very, very excited about. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and I'll see you on campus.
Hi, if you could all take your seats, we're about wrapping it up. My name is Randy Gibb. I'm honored to be the Dean of the Colangelo College of Business. The faculty, staff, and the students are fired up to be affiliated with you, Mr. Colangelo, and have you on our team. So thank you very much. As you've heard today, everything about Mr. Colangelo, the three pillars, principles of our university and our College of Business: servant leadership, ethics, and entrepreneurism, and those certainly represent everything you've done, and we're going to try and continue that, carrying that torch into the future. I'm going to briefly share two announcements, and this is the perfect time to do it. First of all, we're going to announce, as of right now, some scholarships in the Colangelo College of Business, Jerry Colangelo Scholarship. One is going to go to a Phoenix Union School District student, and one is going to go to an Arizona Christian Canyon School Consortium student. So we have two different school systems that we're going to give scholarships to in your name. Of course, the requirement is academic excellence, integrity, service, and leadership in their school and in their community. So we're very excited for that.
Thank you, Ray.
As well as, do we have any honors students here right now? Or they're all in the library or studying?
They're studying, they
Right.
should be studying.
Well, in the Colangelo College of Business, we have 48 honor students, and as of right now, they are now going to be called the Colangelo Scholars. They're going to have a very unique opportunity and be part of a learning community with amazing opportunities for scholarship, intellectual curiosity endeavors, as well as opportunities in terms of internship and research experiences. So we're really excited to take our honors program to the next level with the Colangelo Scholars. So
Thank you,
I
Ray.
think we may even call them Colangelopes. We're not sure.